Welcome back, y'all, to what I'm going to call is probably one of the hottest days of the year for me fishing. It is brutal right now, mostly because if you look at the lake, it is flat calm, there is no wind, and I have my work pants and work boots on. Probably should have brought an extra change of clothes, but that's all right. We're going to make it work for today. I'm pretty excited to be out here, though. I don't really have very high hopes for the day, just because it's warm, the water's warm, the algae is really coming through, but we might throw a little topwater frogs today and maybe we'll get a couple bites that way. This place can really be good in the spring and fall, but we're in the dead of summer right now, so I just don't know what to expect. I'm hopeful, but I'm setting expectations low, and then if something happens, I'll be happily surprised, and if not, that's okay too. Either way, I'm glad to be on the water today. It's a work day, so you know, any day that I can come out after work, it's pretty cool. So let's get in there and rip some lips. I think I'm gonna start with the swim bait and see what happens from there. Alrighty, starting with the 3.8 inch Kitech and a little, it's a 4/0 weighted swim bait hook, and hopefully we can catch some bass that way. I'm just gonna work these weed edges and we'll see if anything wants to play. Well, I just put my hand in the water, and I would say that this water is borderline like warm bath water. It's got to be at least 85, probably closer to 88 degrees right now. I don't think it's going to get into 90s. We don't get 90-degree water here in Indiana, really. Not much that I know of, maybe southern Indiana. But northern Indiana typically tops out around 88 from what I've seen. There we go. And he scared the crap out of me. He followed it out of the weeds. Kind of a little frog fish there, even though it was a swim bait. And there we go, we got one. About got me there too. Hey, calm down, buddy. I'll let you go in just a second. First fish is down. Only took about 5 minutes there, not too bad. Pretty gross in front of me. I'm sure you can tell it is mossed up pretty thick in here. One down. See if we can get about 10 more. Here's the swim bait I'm using. It's not really supposed to look like that though. That's pretty unfortunate, kind of broke in half there. So we're gonna switch it out and get back in there and rip some more lips. All right, we're back in there now. We got a white swim bait on. I'm kind of throwing it on top of the water, kind of like a frog. The reason I'm using a swim bait instead though is because there is a couple pockets of open water every now and then. And if I can get that bait to swim just like a normal swim bait through those pockets, I have a lot of luck doing that. Places like this and during times similar to this, it's really hard to choose what kind of tactics you want to go for when you're targeting these fish. Like I said, I love to use a weedless swim bait just because it works just like a frog if you need it to. You can slow it down, let it bounce off the bottom a little bit like a slow moving bait. But ultimately, I mean, if you really want to effectively fish something like this, probably not from a kayak, but from a boat, you're gonna need like 4 rods. You're gonna need some sort of finesse fishing, some sort of, you know, bottom bait, like some kind of creature bait or a crawl bait, and you know, topwater frogs or swim baits. It's pretty effective to use those kind of techniques and just kind of go through them until you figure out what's working. It can be tiresome at times because it can really be slow. I think today, with it being so hot, I mean, my car was saying 90 when I got out, and I know the water's up there. The bite's just going to be really slow. The good thing though is that we did not get skunked, and even if we leave with just one fish, I'm still going to be pretty happy. At least we were able to get out and get one down. There we go. That was so cool to be able to, oh my gosh, he just got me disgusting. That water is hot. You can see it all over. Anyways, I got to see that bite. You know, I was running it right by him, and he was probably about 4 feet away, and you could just see him kick with all his power to get over there, and he slammed it pretty quick. Fish number 2, right in this open water. That's what I'm doing. So my next spot's going to be over there to that open water, and then I'm just going to work my way around. as you can see, I mean, anywhere there's open water, you may be able to get a fish. Assuming it's not super deep, that's where you want to go, is this open water that's a little shallow. You know, they can go up and feed, but they don't have to go super deep there. I tell you what, if you guys want to work out, come to this little spot and, you know, try to kayak through some of this stuff. It is tough. There we go. Oh yeah. Got us another bass. Oh yeah, splash me all you can. Yes sir, right there. That's a nice one. That's the biggest one of the day. He's got a pretty good sized head on him. A little skinny in the body, but head's nice. That's a good fish. Definitely getting close to 2 pounds. Probably about 1.5 pounds, 1.75 pounds. But getting up there in size a little bit. That's better than the first 2 I caught. I'm in a hole right now that's loaded with bluegill, so it's kind of hard to tell if I'm bumping bluegill or bass, but finally managed one. After about 10 or 20 casts, got us a nice fish. We're gonna release him though. There he goes back down. I don't like to keep fish out of the water very long when the water temps is this hot. It's just very hard on their body. Their slime coats, they dry up pretty quick, and I'm not sure exactly what a slime coat does for a fish, but I do know that it's pretty important to protect their outside layer of scales. So I just let them go as quick as I can, just take a quick picture, and then off they go. Well, we were able to get a few back here. I'm going to start working my way back to where I've started at and just slowly fish my way back. Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 more, but we'll see what happens. 3 is an incredible number. I was really hoping to just be able to get out of here with 1 fish, so I'm feeling pretty blessed to be able to get a few more than that. The conditions, like I said, I mean, once it gets up into that 80s, 90 degree temperatures, and then the water's up in the 80s as well, it's nearly impossible to catch fish unless you go super deep. But this whole pond, lake, whatever you want to call it, is only, you know, 10 or 12 feet at the most, and so even the deep spots, it's just too weeded up, and the fish are, it's tough. They're very finicky. We're making it work though. I don't want it to sound like it's a big complaint. I am more than happy and more than thankful to be out here. We may end up calling it quits a little bit early. It is really tough to fish in this stuff. Usually I can make it work, but with there being no wind, oh, there was a bite right there. With there being no wind, the algae's just spreading out and going everywhere. Typically if there's a little bit of wind, it will kind of congregate on one side and make it a little easier on me. Oh my, there we go. I like that. Hallelujah. A couple bites back to back, found another good hole. But like I said, I mean, the fishing is pretty tough when the weeds get this thick. I found a spot that's kind of deceiving. This is actually just like little surface, little algae pods. And right below it, you can swim that swim bait beautifully under there. And then right here is thick stuff, and you want to stay out of that. We got another one though. I'm gonna put him right there. There he goes. Today has turned out much better than I had expected. It's also at the same time, it is much harder than I expected to fish. So, you know, a little bit of both, not too bad. Well, y'all, I am going to head out of here. I am sweating to death, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun to make. You know, it's really warm. Conditions are tough. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it another 1,000. They're tough, but it was awesome to come out here and catch some fish. I am pretty thankful that these, you know, weighted swim bait hooks exist, and that you can fish pretty much weedless, or as weedless as possible with these hooks. They do work pretty well, and the nice thing is you don't have to throw them just in weeds. You could throw them in open water as well, and they work great. I love them. You should definitely check them out. I think they're Berkeley Fusion 19 if they still make them. That was what I used to throw, at least, and yeah, they work pretty good. So guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next hot, sweaty summer adventure. Peace, y'all.